Sugar Sean O'Malley says that Henry Cejudo and Petr Yan are all talk and they're little fucking weasels. Alright, Sugar Sean O'Malley, we last saw him in action at UFC 276 fighting Pedro Munoz, and it was an anticlimactic finish, okay? There was an eye poke. Fight ended. It was very, very annoying. I'm a big fan of Sean O'Malley. I was intrigued to know how he would do stepping up in competition against the number 10 ranked Pedro Munoz. But still, that fight finished in a terrible fashion, and now we're on to the next one. Or should we even be on to the next one? I think the UFC should run that one back. I don't know what O'Malley thinks. It seems like he's moving on. In his mind, he won that fight. In his mind, he won the Chito Vera fight. I get it. I get what he's doing. He's selling himself. He's hyping himself up and his brand and all the rest of it. But I think logically, run that one back. But still, as I say, Sean O'Malley, he's moved past that and he's talking about other opponents. Now, when he looks at the landscape of the bantamweight division, he says almost everybody has got a fight booked. He said TJ has a fight booked, Jose Aldo has a fight booked, Marab, fight booked, Chito Vera, fight booked, Dominic Cruz, fight booked. He said, now I'm ranked number 9. The only other little fucking weasels on here that don't have a fight is Petr Yan, and then of course he talked about Henry Cejudo. Now, if you saw some of the coverage around the post-fight of UFC 276, you might have saw that Sean O'Malley was talking to BT Sports' Caroline Pierce. They were doing an interview, and Henry Cejudo popped up. He was in the background. He's calling him out. He's talking some shit. Sean O'Malley got a little annoyed. He's like, is this guy serious? I'm standing here doing an interview and he's standing there on the sidelines when he's retired talking shit. Well, anyway, looks like they might be on a collision course. Now, I don't know if this a push too far right now for Sugar Sean O'Malley. Listen, on the feet, O'Malley's absolutely sensational. But in the wrestling side of things, Henry Cejudo is one of the best. Now, they're going back and forth on social media. Now, as I said, Cejudo's been talking a bit of shit about Sugar Sean O'Malley. Of course he is, because O'Malley's one of the biggest stars, if not the biggest star, in the bantamweight division. So for Henry Cejudo, as a comeback fight, it makes a lot of sense. He said, first of all, his performance absolutely sucked. He talks a lot. If anyone talks, Cejudo said, I'm proven. I don't think I talk enough, to be honest with you. I just think he thinks he's better than he really is. And to me, that's a problem. So I challenged him. I'm like, what's up now? You ready? He's like, okay. I should start calling him Stuttering Sean because of how he tripped over his own goddamn words. But anyways, he doesn't want this smoke. That will be the worst. It will be like Jake Paul fighting John Jones. I would eat that dude alive. Okay, so obviously very aggressive fighting words. O'Malley comes back and says, okay, September 10th, that too soon, fat ass, or are you all talk Henry? So there it is, they're going back and forth on there. And then we saw a video come out today of Henry Cejudo in the gym with the GOAT, possibly, Demetrius Johnson, the man that went on an absolute tear, winning God knows how many titles and title defenses in the UFC. Take a look.
I'd love a tune-up. What do you say, Precious? Serious? You're good to go now, huh? Say it. What did you want to bend the knee on one time? Because I think you absolutely suck. That is crazy. No one takes that dude serious. No one takes that dude serious. I kill this dude.
The best part is when the camera goes to figure 8 out. Figure 8 was like, what the fuck?
He's like this, dude.
Yeah.
Serious?
You're good to go now, huh?
Good to go.
Say it.
What would you want to bend the knee on one time? Because I think you absolutely suck. He's
I was in bed going through my phone, and I see that, and I'm like, damn, here you're acting a fool, just letting everybody have it, ain't ya?
Listen, fuck it, I got the Danny DeVito syndrome, dude.
He's gonna move and try to be long.
He's precise, but he's got no power.
Yeah.
Defense is number 1 with somebody like Sean.
Yeah.
Your defense is good. You just gotta protect this area.
Yep.
That's it.
Yep.
Yeah, so we see them there. They're kind of having a laugh at Sugar Sean O'Malley, or they're laughing at Henry Cejudo. You're not supposed to laugh at your own jokes, Henry.
That's fucking weird, huh?
But he is the king of cringe, let's be honest. But he's working with Demetrius Johnson there, who is, you know, when it comes to fight IQ and strategy, which is so valuable when it comes to mixed martial arts, Demetrius Johnson, one of the best. They're saying here, Sean is very, very precise, but he has no power. I wouldn't necessarily agree with that, but he is very precise, and he is taller, he is longer, and he has fantastic footwork. So for Henry Cejudo to win this fight, he would have to get on the inside. Now, does this fight even happen? I don't know. Right now, Henry Cejudo is in the USADA testing pool. He's got to do 6 months. He retired after beating Dominic Cruz. It wasn't really a retirement. He was just, I think, posturing for a better contract. Of course, hey, we all want more money. So he retired for a little bit. It looked like he was actually retired because he came out of the USADA testing pool, and now he's back. So Cejudo responded to O'Malley and said, that's too soon for me. I've got to do 6 months in the USADA testing pool. What about October? So October, essentially, it's not far away, just around the corner. That gives Henry Cejudo enough time to get his Mexican fat ass in shape.
Well, Bisping's just a dick.
His words, not mine. And it also gives Sugar Sean O'Malley a lot of time to work on his takedown defense, because if he fights Henry Cejudo, he's got to work on the takedown defense. And let me tell you, if Henry can use that fast footwork, get on the inside, the man can box as well. The man's got power. Remember, he stopped TJ Dillashaw. He stopped Dominic Cruz, and he had lots of other great performances as well. So the man's fantastic. Sean O'Malley, of course, he believes in himself. He thinks he can win this. He thinks he's going to be the champion. And he did say it on my last video. He said, within 2 fights, I'll be the champ. Well, I tell you what, if he fights Henry Cejudo and he beats Henry Cejudo, a title fight will 100% be next. And for Henry Cejudo, it ticks all the boxes, because he can come back, fight the biggest star, potentially beat the biggest star. And what does that do? That puts him right in line for a title shot at whoever is the champion at that time. Hey, the bantamweight division right now, this thing's on fire. It's going under the radar. I mean, you've got Aljamain Sterling as the champ. He's fighting TJ Dillashaw. There's Dominic Cruz, Chito Vera, Sugar Sean O'Malley, Henry Cejudo. Who else? There's others, but I can't. Corey Sandhagen. I mean, it's mental. The division is absolutely stacked right now with a lot of fighters that have a lot of skill, a lot of speed, and believe it or not, you know, they're only 135, but a lot of them can pack a pretty solid punch as well. But still, there's a few thoughts for you on this current landscape with Sugar Sean O'Malley. He is very captivating. I do find him very, very watchable. I love his style. I love the way that he fights. And the same thing with Henry Cejudo. You know, Henry Cejudo is the king of cringe. You know, when he walks out there and he's slapping down like, you know, snakes, fake snakes on the stage at the weigh-ins and stuff like that, and he wears the crown and all the rest of it, he's playing up to a persona. You know, and he does it very well. He grabs attention. He's known as the king of cringe. But Henry Cejudo is not a man to be taken lightly, if I'm honest. He's not a man to be underestimated. He has been through some tremendous adversity in his life. He was an Olympic wrestler, obviously, got the gold medal. And he said he had never slept in a bed until he got to the Olympic Training Center because of the tough times, the poverty that he grew up in. You know, his family moved around. You know, they were homeless a lot of the time. They used to live in Compton, California, going house to house to house, moved out to Arizona, started wrestling. And he said when he got to the Olympic Training Center, everyone else was complaining because the training sessions were so grueling and demanding. But Henry Cejudo was like, what is your problem? Look at this. We got beds, we got food, we got everything we need on tap, and you guys are still going to complain. So that's the kind of attitude that Henry Cejudo has, and that is the determination that he brings to the table. So behind all that cringe and the persona and the crowns and all the bullshit, there's a very, very hard-working, extremely skilled young man. And he seems to be on a collision course with Sugar Sean O'Malley. What would you think of that matchup? It's an interesting one with a lot to gain on both sides, but I'm not sure if I'm in the corner of O'Malley, I would be taking that one just yet. Or if he is, I'm sending him off to Bulgaria or Russia or somewhere where they do a lot of wrestling because he's got to work on that takedown defense. Anyway, love Sean O'Malley, by the way. Love Cejudo. Love you guys. Subscribe and ring the bell if you haven't already done so. Thanks for watching.